All right.
Hello.
Okay, hello.
Hello. We are
Welcome.
here.
We are here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We started a podcast. I don't even know how to start this.
How do we intro this?
Okay, so first of all, what is your name?
Hey everyone, this is Rachel.
And I am Jordan, and this is my mom, and I'm her daughter.
Yep, mother and daughter.
And together we have started a podcast. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. And we like to call this podcast From
Where I'm Sitting.
From Where I'm Sitting. We thought that we would give you guys a good dive into basically the two of us. And
we're going to start with us, and then it will morph into who knows.
Other people, of course.
Yeah.
But we thought that we usually sit around and have deep conversations a lot. Yeah. We noticed that we talk to each other very much with the idea of not really necessarily mother and daughter, but two different ages, two different perspectives. Right. So we thought, why not, bring that to light.
Bring it to the people.
Yeah.
The people want to know what we talk about.
Well, first, before we do anything, it is your birthday today.
It is my birthday.
Happy birthday. Light claps, because the mic.
Right.
Light clap.
Thank you.
It is April 22nd, which means it's my mother's beautiful birthday.
Yes.
My brother has a birthday tomorrow. They are next to each other.
Yes, we are exactly 20 years apart.
So if you don't mind, how old are you?
I don't mind, because I know everybody's thinking it. They like, how old is she? I wonder how old she is. She gotta be like 12.
Oh. 12? I don't know about 12.
So my son and I are 20 years apart, which makes me 42. I turned 42 today.
Yes.
My son will be 22 tomorrow.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And my birth story is kind of cool. I went into labor with him on my birthday, and I just knew I was going to have a birthday baby. I was so excited. I'm going to have him on birthday. 36 hours later, he decided he wanted his own birthday.
Now, you tell the story. You tell the story of how you went into labor with us every time it's our birthday.
Yes.
You usually talk about
the birth story. Yeah.
Now, it's amazing to me that you spent 36 hours in the hospital.
Yeah.
Just to push out my big-headed brother.
Yes.
That is so insane how a woman could be in that much. I don't want to say excruciating pain, because it's not always painful for everyone.
Right. And it's not painful the whole 36 hours. But enough of it.
So much time.
It's so much time you can't eat. You can't really drink anything.
36 hours without eating.
Active labor. Whatever stage that might be. But I spent 3 hours just pushing.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
That's so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It kind of scares you, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now
I had no idea that would have been great birth control for me.
I get so many TikToks now, right? About women, talking about, this is what it looks like when you're at 10, wasn't it? What is it called? Centimeters.
Yeah.
Or you're at 5.
Right.
You're not ready to push yet, but your hole is this huge.
Right.
The size of my head.
Right. Pretty much.
That's incredibly scary to me.
It is.
It's also amazing. Like,
it is, because it's not necessarily, I didn't necessarily see what 10 centimeters look like at the moment.
Yeah.
I just knew that I wanted to get the 10 so I can get this over with.
Like, the fact that our bodies can do that and then just,
amazing.
Snap back.
Please.
Okay, but regardless of that.
Exactly. This is why we started a podcast. This is the kind of conversations we have, and then we be off on something else.
A minute in, and we're already just
off topic.
Anyway.
Right.
So today is your birthday.
So birthday, yes.
You turned 42.
42, yes.
Now, that's pretty young. I was talking to you about that earlier.
Yes.
That is not even, like, people are like 50 is like midlife, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
let's give your age. So I have a 22-year-old and a 19-year-old.
Yes, I'm 19.
Newly 19.
I just turned 19 in March.
And that's it, people. Just 2 and done.
Yeah.
Boy, girl.
Yeah. For you.
For me.
For you.
For me.
I,
that was enough for me.
Have more siblings.
Yes.
And
Yes.
We do technically have a big family. Yes. But
we will get to that.
We will get to that.
Oh, that's a good story, guys.
That's a whole story.
That is a whole episode.
We will get to that.
We're going to give you some teasers before we get to that.
So what have you learned in year 41 that you want to bring to 42?
Right. So obviously year 41 was crazy with the pandemic, right?
Of course.
So, and another thing we'll get to in another episode probably, but I am 42 and dating. I'm out in these dating streets. So yeah, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about myself through life. Mm-hmm. You learn a lot about yourself through a pandemic. Like, who knew that we was about to get sat on our behinds and start thinking?
I think a lot of people really had to change during the pandemic.
Yes, you started really, talk about the man in the mirror. Like, you really had to sit and look at yourself. Yeah. Like, what are you doing with your life?
There was nothing else to do.
Exactly.
But be self-aware.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I mentioned to Jordan earlier that I learned about myself is to learn to lean more into my own intuitions about whatever. I have great perspective on things and people, but sometimes I don't follow it at first. So just trusting it more and leaning more into it, because I'm 42. I'm like, listen, if that's your intuition, that's your first intuition, go with it, girl. Like, don't overthink it.
Yeah.
And now, like, year 42, I just want to devote a lot more time to what's next in my life. And I have some things popping up that I'm going to personally work on. But yeah, it's all about what's next. But I think what you said after I finished that, what you said about me and your dad was profound to me.
I think I respect both of my parents more when I see them going after the things that they love. And what I mean is, my mom has been working at the same job for a very long time.
Yeah, like almost 19.
Yeah,
like 18 years, almost 18 years. Now.
Yeah, and we
at the same place.
So basically, as long as I've been alive.
Yeah,
and we've talked about this, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but you talked about. You said that you didn't have a passion. You said that your passion was us, your kids, for a very long time.
Right?
And so now that me and Andrew are grown at this point. We're still like here and around.
Right, almost self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're kind of just like at a point where you're like, what do I do?
So I have to tell you guys, like, real quick, so my daughter doesn't lose her train of thought. But like, I was actually on a date and somebody asked me like, what are you passionate about? Like, what are your hobbies? And I was like, I don't know. And I felt horrible. Like, that's crazy. There are some things in my life that I like to do that I didn't really necessarily think about as hobbies. And then when I came back and talked to my daughter about it, like, she did bring some things to my attention, like, Mom, you like to do this? I was like, oh, I guess I never thought about those things as hobbies. But I did start to like really think about the fact that, man, like, my life has revolved around AJ and Jordan. And now that they're kind of like out of the way, I have all this free time, and I'm like, yes, Rachel, like, you need to start figuring some stuff out for Rachel. Like, these kids is about to be grown, like, out there doing their thing, and it's like, what are you gonna be sitting here doing? So yeah, absolutely. Like, I had to come to grips with that a couple of months ago. Like, whew.
And I was just like, along with that, I was just saying, like, my dad works so hard. Every time I call him or talk to him, I don't think there's a time where he's not working. But when I come over and I come to his house, he does the thing he's passionate about. He loves to cook for us. He started his own food truck, Chunky's. Check it out. I'll put the link below.
Yes.
To Instagram.
Follow
really
Chunky.
Good food.
Yes.
Let's,
Philly
plug.
cheesesteaks.
Let's plug. Yes. I don't care. We're plugging.
Absolutely. We plugging.
Yes.
We plugging. We're going to be plugging.
Chunky. So, but seeing that is just like amazing to me, because do stuff that they love, and they still like come together with their family, and they still make money to support and all of that, and they do all that, and I never felt like, oh man, like I don't get to see my mom or dad, or oh man, they're always working.
Right.
You guys have always, I feel like, found a way to indulge with your passion and show us that you're passionate about stuff, but also work towards your passion and not just work to work.
Right.
And that's, I think, important for me because I am 19 and I have a lot of friends and a lot of people around me right now who are like, why are we doing this? Like, a lot of people my age are looking at college and like, well, what's the point of this? What do I want to do? But then there are, we're also thinking of, well, why do this when we could go out and travel and live our lives in our 20s and stuff? And I just think you and Daddy, because you're so young and you guys had kids at such a young age, like around my age now is when
pretty much I got pregnant with
your life
at 19. Yeah.
But you still managed to have fun and, make it so you never made it feel like having kids, you lost
was like a huge stumbling block or anything. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, let's be real. I finished my associate's degree, like, when I tell you, probably, I had just had AJ. I had to go in for my last final. I had dude strapped to me.
Oh, wow.
And my teacher let me sit and take my final with him strapped to me, because he must have been, like, 4 weeks old.
That's crazy.
That's dedication. I was in them classes. Some of the people that was in school with me, I still talk to them, and I couldn't even fit in the table. Like, I had to sit sideways
from the side.
Right. So I finished my associate's degree, and then I stayed home for a year with him, and then I went to work, and same thing with my daughter.
A year? I didn't know you stayed a year.
I stayed home for a year with him, and your dad worked. And same thing with you. After I had you, stay home for a year. I wanted to go back to work so much earlier after I had you. No shade, but just because you were so much more advanced than he was, I just felt like, what am I here for? Like, she wants to do everything herself. She wants to feed herself. Like, I might as well go back to work. So I put myself through school twice.
Wow.
Before, like while you guys were little, really. Man. And went back to school to get my master's degree. You guys are a little bit older, but it still was a sacrifice because it was plenty of things I had to turn down and couldn't do because I was doing my thing. Yeah. But so that just to hear you say you still didn't feel like you guys missed out on anything. And I went back to school twice and was working full time and raising you guys. That speaks volumes. Yeah.
You can do
that speaks volumes. And sometimes as parents, we felt bad. We feel like, oh my goodness, but to hear you say, like, I still didn't, miss anything. I didn't want for anything.
I was very lucky to have the childhood I had. I think I was. Because, a lot of people... And I'm not saying that there was nothing ever wrong in my childhood.
Right.
Because I don't think that that's true.
Right.
But
we all have our stuff.
I do think that because you and my dad worked so well together, I think, at times, and, you guys, I don't know, just watching you guys just made me feel like I could do it.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I can do whatever.
A couple times we was faking the funk.
Well, you fake it till you make it.
Yes, we faked it real good in front of y'all, didn't we? We was
and
behind the scenes. We were.
You have to do.
And then in front of y'all, we was like, hey.
And the kids never knew.
Exactly. But, it was a struggle.
Well, let's go back to you talking about dating. Because
we're going to go right to there? Okay, cool.
My mom had been in a relationship for a very long time.
Yes.
And then it ended.
Yes.
And now she's dating.
Like, let's put some numbers to this. Okay. I was in a relationship for 10 years, y'all.
Oh, that's such a
10
long
years.
time.
And
that's like most of my life.
And I've been single for the last 2 years. So it was very recent. So my breakup was very recent, within 2 years. And
but you weren't really dating those 2 years. Were you?
No, the first year.
Yeah, the first year. No. So it's really.
So really, I've been dating for a year. Yeah.
So it's very new.
And I mean, I know some of y'all know that dating has changed a lot. Dating changes a lot over 10 years. It
changes within the next week. Honestly.
Exactly.
Everybody has an opinion on everything. Listen, there are people who want relationships that the woman, like, that still think the woman can stay home, which is fine. There are still relationships where, like, they want a woman to be home and they want to bring, a man wants to bring home a check every time. There are relationships where a guy just wants to vibe, which means they don't want a label. But okay. That doesn't make, vibes don't make sense to me.
Vibes
I'm very
upset you so much.
Passionate about this issue.
I know, they upset you so much.
It doesn't make sense. This is what a vibe is to men. They want to call you whenever they want, to hang out with you, whatever they want, to sleep with you, to do everything you do in a relationship, but never have a relationship.
But never have a title.
But also never want you to talk to anyone else. And also, they can do whatever they want. That's not a vibe, guys. That is not a vibe. A vibe doesn't exist to me. It is you're dating somebody and you're trying to see where it goes.
I think vibes only exist in men's head.
It
doesn't make sense outside of their brain.
It doesn't. Have you, oh my God, have you heard, I saw this on TikTok. I'm going to mention TikTok a lot. I see a lot of things on TikTok. But this woman was talking about how your brain can, easily identify two different things. Like, it can look at a human and be like, that's a human. And it can look at an object and be like, that's an object. It doesn't have feelings, whatever. So it'll show. So like when you're interacting, when you see another human or whatever, she said something about your brain goes up, like the, waves in your brain go up, right? And when you see an object, it goes down. So she said that they did the study on men. I'm probably saying this wrong. The TikTok explained it so much better. But she said when men look at women, they recognize, okay, a person, whatever, and the brain goes up. But when they see a woman, like, provocatively, it goes down. Meaning they see them as objects. Like, real objects. And I was like, and I thought that was so weird. But it made so much sense.
It, like, makes things clearer for some reasons.
It makes so much sense.
Reason.
Because men are... So I was like,
we are not male bashing. We love men. Shout out to all the black kings out there.
Shout out to the black kings out there. And BTS. But I'm still debating.
Listen, I still have a lot of hope for you guys. I know I'm going to find the right one. For me.
Listen.
The right one for me.
Okay, and that goes back to me because I feel like, now, my mom has been dating and stuff like that. She's doing pretty hot in the dating world. Everybody wants her, right? But she's very picky. She's very picky.
I guess I am.
She'll come back with stories and she'll be like, yeah, I didn't like the top he was wearing. And I was like...
No, like, it's the white socks with the black sneakers for me.
She will not continue the date. Listen, because as soon as she points something out, that's all she thinks about throughout the rest of the dinner.
Yes,
and I'm like,
I can't get it out my head.
Rachel, I'm like... You have to, look past that. They have personalities, And she's like, but that shirt was so corny. If you make a good first impression with my mom, you're set. Because there's always something.
Yes, I go into it because I'm like, I'm not going to like them. Like, I'm going to meet them and then I'm going to be like, Like over the phone, I'm like, I really like this person. I'm vibing. But then I'm like, I know when I meet him in person, something is going to set me off. So I know I did it. I remember I did it.
Looking for things.
So a year ago.
Oh my God.
I met this guy at an event. I have a very strong personality. I have no problem going up to somebody like, hello. Like, I will make the first move. So yeah, I made the first move, things work out. We went out like a week later. On the phone, we were vibing. I'm like, yo, first of all, I was just like, yes, I saw him. I was like, listen, I like you. What's up? So what's up? We went out to dinner and I was in the car talking to my girlfriend like, I know it's going to be something. It's going to be something.
Who were you talking about?
I'm not gonna say his name.
Oh, well, tell me.
Okay, you'll you'll know who it is eventually.
Okay.
I just knew he was gonna have like some whack turned over shoes on, something. Got there, of course I did a 1-over. I'm like, oh, I have nothing to complain about. And I was like shocked. And then I'm like, okay, he's gonna like, here's my other thing. People that chew or smack loudly.
Oh,
so I'm like, okay, the food is going to come and he going to start smacking.
No.
And then I'm going to be done.
It's chewing with your mouth open for
yes.
me. It is chewing
or
with your
just
mouth
eating
open
in public and look like you ain't never ate before.
Yeah, no.
Like,
We're not in
yes.
prison. Take your time. We can sit here a little
Like,
longer.
I'm going to need you to have, be a little poised. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So, like, yeah, so even if the food came and I'm watching intently, there's something wrong with me. I'm watching intently, like, is he going to smack? And he didn't, and I'm like, this is too good to be true. So in this dating world, ladies, like, me and my girlfriends do not play. So two of my girlfriends knew where I was going, my location.
Yes, and this is a PSA.
Yes.
If you are a woman going...
I don't care how old you are.
I don't care. Going anywhere.
Yes.
Send somebody your location. Go to a well-lit place. Don't
Yes.
meet any random... These people are weird
Yes.
on the internet.
You're going to find some weird people.
So,
yeah.
please...
Not even on the internet. I met him at an event. And,
yeah,
but
no, you
still...
just never know.
Yes, still going out. Like, two of my girlfriends
Bring
always
something
know.
You, pepper spray, something. You don't know.
Right.
Bring a fork. If you,
Right.
You can do a
No,
lot with a
seriously.
fork.
That stiletto shoe. Listen.
Yeah.
So they knew where I was. One of my girlfriends that knows me so well, Leslie, shout out to Leslie. She was following my location. She legit, after about 45 minutes, texted me and was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And that was because she said, you usually don't stay that long.
Yeah.
Like, you usually have picked through the part by now and you're like, okay, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta get out of here. Or,
That's my mom.
or please text me or call me and get me out of this. I had such a great time. We were vibing. I couldn't find anything wrong with him.
And you know what that is? That's self-sabotage.
It is.
It
You
is.
remember that show we were watching and that girl kept saying that? She was like, I self-sabotage.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't see me in her.
But you
But
related to
I
that.
probably I do that on a small scale.
Yeah.
So I'm usually really surprised. So I honestly don't vibe with most people.
Mm-hmm.
So because I know that, I go into things like, this ain't gonna work. Cause it's just not gonna work. Cause it never works out like that for me. Yeah. and it's true. Like the first year I was single, I wasn't dating, but I was like talking to people, seeing people, didn't want to make any commitments. I think I only really vibed with one person. I saw a few people, but I really vibed with only one person that whole year. And then the second year, which was last year, met a few people, talked to a lot of people. And the guy I met at that event, still vibe with him.
Yeah.
A year later, like, we're still vibing. So now you know who it is, right?
I'm gonna pretend like I do, yeah.
So anyway,
I get introduced to a new person every so often. It's like, I've got a lot of names up there. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
There's one that I'm still vibing with. Hopefully, really go somewhere. I mean, if he's smart, he will nail this down.
I, on the other hand, have had my first real relationship in high school, I think. Well, real. My first relationship in high school.
First boyfriend, let's just say it. Put it out there. First boyfriend.
My first everything. My first kiss. Genuinely.
Not everything.
What's happening here? Anyway, my first boyfriend I had in high school. And then we were together for 2 years. And then we broke up. And
it was 2 years?
Yeah, we've been together it was like almost 2 years.
Wow.
2 years, yeah. And then we broke up. And now I will be alone forever. So.
You will not.
Mom.
Jordan,
listen,
look at me.
Wait.
If there's hope for me, that there's going to be hope for you.
Listen, because I have an issue. Ready?
Uh-huh. Ready?
I like to fantasize.
Okay.
And I'm very imaginative.
Oh, yeah. You always had a good imagination.
I'm always daydreaming. I'm a Pisces, by the way. if anyone watching is
Shout
like,
out to the
what's
Pisces.
your zodiac? Because I know some of you are.
Taurus over here.
I'm a Pisces. I'm a double Pisces too. So I think of myself as very much head in the clouds. I love to fantasize and dream, and I dream big and I dream hard and stuff.
Yeah.
And I have been dreaming of the perfect boyfriend ever since. And I feel like because I dream so hard, my standard is so high. And I feel like, but I also feel like I deserve it.
Absolutely.
I feel like I should.
But let's just mention too that you have had very influential men around you in your life growing up. So you do, even without your imagination, you do have a high standard because the men in your life, they treat you right. Yes. And I don't think you will ever be able to settle.
Brothers and
Godfathers. Yes, more than one godfather.
Yeah, my dad. I mean, I do get, even my mom spoils me. So I think I just am like.
Even my friends that come into my life, Jordan has a way of imprinting on people when they meet her, and people just fall, especially men. Men just like,
who? To me?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I feel like I never really felt like, I've always wanted to be the type of person to like people be immediately attracted to. Not in like, oh, she's pretty way. But like attracted to like, wow, she has a dope personality. Yeah. I've always wanted to be that. And sometimes it can come off as me a little too strong. Like sometimes listen, sometimes I scope out and I'm like, I like you, you're gonna be my friend. and it can get a little creepy because not everyone's ready for that. But I'm ready.
And you know what I picture in my head all the time? I always told you this.
Oh my god.
Maisley? Mainly when it comes to animals. But you have this thing where it's like, I love you and I want to squeeze you and I want you to be mine.
Very attached to things and obsessive with things.
Yes.
Okay.
You're like,
okay.
Even when you were a little kid, like she can play with somebody for like 10 minutes and she'll be like, Mommy, this is my friend so-and-so. I'll be like, where did you meet this little girl? We were sitting in the airport and this little girl, we were in the airport and she's like, my friend so-and-so. I'm like, you just met her.
And that has I really noticed that during quarantine because it happens, you lose some friends and it's just the way of life. Like you go through life losing.
So you're learning. Yeah. But you didn't really lose a lot of friends.
I didn't lose
until recently.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That recent time, during this quarantine, when I was really falling out with myself, with others and stuff like that, I noticed that I rely on other people for happiness a lot. And that's what I was doing to my friends. And I think that...
Wow, that's deep.
And I think that was unfair to them because it's like, you expect them to be this and that so they make you happy. But if that's not who they are and they're changing too, then it ends up being... Then it can, go all types of ways. It could fall out into something bad or something like that. And what it is really, it is nobody's fault, but, you do have to take some accountability for the things that you've experienced. Like, I had to take an accountability that when I lost my friends, that I wasn't always the best friend either. Like, I wasn't either. Like, and
when you stop to reflect.
Yeah, and you have to. You have to know that it's not always the other person.
Yes.
It is both ways with a friendship.
Right.
Or with any
relationship.
Any
Absolutely.
Relationship. So it is no one else's. It's not always that one person's fault. There's two sides to every story. And I really had to learn that you lose people, but
you learn something from it.
When you lose them, they teach you something.
Yes. And you better see the lesson in it. Yeah. Because some people don't stop to see the lesson. It's like, let me keep going. But no, you have to stop and see the lesson. And I've learned that I don't have very many friendships that I've lost. But I've learned that in relationships, that when you, yes, after a relationship ends, you need to stop and sit in it for a minute and be like, okay, this is what happened, but what was my part? Yeah. And moving forward, I would like to not display that again.
Exactly. I would like
and that's you working on you. Yeah. Constantly, always working on you.
And then, like, and with that, I've had to learn that not everyone is going to like you.
Yes.
And again, I've tried very hard.
Everybody's not going to like you, Jordan?
Yeah. I've tried very hard to be the person that everyone likes. That I forgot to learn that I wasn't being myself, 1. And 2, not everybody's going to like me. And it was hard to learn that when you're trying to be something for everybody.
Yeah.
And you're thinking,
and it's hard to discern whether or not this person really likes me.
You. Exactly. And you're sitting
or do they just tolerate me?
and I would be very insecure. I would be like, okay, they don't, obviously, I would say something silly or something and I wouldn't get a reaction, right? And then I would be like, okay, they don't like that, so I won't do that.
You talk about me overthinking that.
And so I'd be like, okay, I won't do that because it seemed like it would be weird to me. But that's who I am. I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo, whatever.
And she's okay with it.
It's a Riverdale thing. If you know, he goes, if you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. And it's really cringy. But it's true. Like, everyone has different.
Yes.
Everyone has different
and let's be real. That's been a journey for the two of us, too. Because Jordan, being a Pisces, and me being a Taurus, I have learned so much from her, and I know she learns from me because if anything, she learns how to be like a hard ass because I'm always like trying to drill to her like, sir, like I hate when she gets like super passive about something or super upset about something because I'm instinctively like, okay, whatever, we don't need that person in our lives. You know what I mean? Like, all right, let's move past this. Like, I'm just like, let's go. But even growing up, like, oh, she just wears her heart on her sleeve, and that's probably why I'm so protective of you too, because it's like, oof, people are going to hurt you and I'm going to want to fight everybody because y'all ain't going to hurt my, my daughter. So, but I got to then I had to move back and let you go through it at the same time.
And you know what? That kind of might have gotten mistranslated or misdirected when I was younger. Now, because you would be like, why are you crying about that? Like, move on. Like, you don't need everybody and stuff. To me, it would feel like, you were being like, I'm trying to push her to be strong and be brave. But for me, sometimes, which is something I also struggle with, sometimes it would feel like, don't feel all your emotions all at once. And so I had a lot of trouble communicating my emotions. Because I would just feel like, whatever, it's whatever. We move on. Yeah. Just toughen up and move on. And I'm very sensitive. Yeah. So all of that got bottled up. And do you remember that one time we kind of had a yelling at each other, and you were basically you were in your room, and I was in the doorway, and we were kind of yelling at each other, and I was so frustrated and so angry. I didn't know how to express it. And I was like, I'm really sad. I was very...
Oh, I do remember that.
I think I was going through a depressive state, and I was very sad, and I was trying to communicate it with my mom. But I think because I was so angry, it wasn't coming off as that. And then you were kind of yelling because it was like, well, why are you yelling, right? And you were kind of just like, I'm your mother, standing up for yourself. And then it was just like, well, if you're feeling sad, you said basically well, then you need to go to therapy. You need to talk to someone.
Yes.
And I was just kind of like...
Yeah, because and then as a mom, you always I feel like I know you very well, even though sometimes I go ask for help in child rearing you. Yeah, because listen, her godmother is a Pisces, and she's grown and she's older than me, so I'll be calling her cousin Nikki. Hey, cousin.
I'm very confusing.
Listen, I be so confused. I be calling cousin Nikki help, and I'll tell cousin Nikki, and she immediately knows where you're coming from. And I think that's fascinating. I'll be on the other end so you get it? Can you please help me?
I love you.
And I'm so glad that she is somebody that I can read. She has no idea how many times I've reached out to cousin Nikki about. I just don't know what to do with her. She's so sensitive. She's always about to cry.
I know. I'm about to cry right now.
I need help. And then even though I never seen Nikki cry a lot, but I'm learning now too that I'm like, she's super sensitive too.
Yeah.
Or she used to like cry about like little weird stuff. She'd be like, oh, I'm going to cry.
No, and that's me. I love crying about that. Listen, I've said that I love watching sad movies. I love watching movies where people like die and stuff like that, just so I can cry. Like, I really...
What? I didn't know this, people.
No, wait. Listen, I think some of the best movies make you cry.
Okay.
And the reason why
like a cleansing cry?
Like a good cry. Like, you're just like, oh my... I feel like if it makes me cry, I really did understand and I really touched with the film.
Okay.
So I like watching movies... Not all the time. Like, I love things that'll, not sad cry.
Oh, okay.
Like, I like... Okay. Wait, yeah. Okay.
Are you always sad and crying?
I'm always crying, guys. I just really like the movies that either make me so happy I cry, or will be like, oh my god, I relate to that cry, or wow, that was so sad cry.
Like, you're saying this, and I swear to goodness, when Nikki watches this, she's going to be like, me too! Like, it even sounds like something she would say.
It makes sense to me.
And I would be sitting across from her going.
To cry.
And
we were talking about a healthy cry. You were telling me
we did.
that you gotta cry it out sometimes.
Yeah,
like, if you're feeling... Even if you're happy and you're just like, so, like, I get so overwhelmed all the time about I try to find the beauty in a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I find it when I'm outside just chilling in nature, or even sometimes we'll be driving and I'll just get a hint of, like, nostalgia, and it makes me want to cry because it's so...
The beautiful thought.
Nostalgic, like, the nostalgic feeling is really powerful.
Yeah,
like,
if you can tap into it, I don't think so. So
not me going, it's so beautiful. You're like,
right.
I don't get it now.
Right. I can tell you the last time I had a nostalgic cry like that.
What?
That's how not often it happens.
What?
Does that make sense? How not often it happens?
That's how infrequent.
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Was when AJ graduated high school.
Really?
Remember I cried and you were like, what's wrong with mommy? And Bubby was like, she just needs a minute.
Bubby is my grandmother, her mom.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it was, he walked out and no, it was when they called his name.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, y'all. All of a sudden, his whole life flashed in front of me, and I had a whole moment. I was ugly crying. Like, she was like, "Is she okay?" Yeah. Like, she was concerned.
You didn't even cry that much at my graduation.
I didn't cry that much, but I did cry.
Okay.
But you weren't sitting with me, so you don't know.
I'll take it.
Plus, I was sitting with someone that wasn't like my family. If my family was there, I think it would have been different.
I graduated during the pandemic, so it wasn't really a grand graduation.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you said.
So that's like the last one, and I know it was more of it was pride. I was like, it was a proud moment.
Yeah, especially because, and you've said this, you did a lot to help Andrew through
Let me tell
school.
y'all something. That diploma, that's half mine.
She said
as soon as I saw him, I was like, give me my diploma.
Yeah.
Because, it took a lot of work getting you out of school.
Yeah.
But guess what? It took a lot of work. It took a lot of work to get me out of school.
So that's where they know each other. They're very similar.
And I be acting like he the only one. And
she'd be like, I can't stand it.
I can't take him. Like, he is just like me.
Of you when you were in
just
high
like
school
me.
Doing the same thing.
Come on, y'all. His birthday is the day after mine. We were the same sign.
The same.
We are really the same person.
It's so ridiculous.
Sometimes it can be beautiful and sometimes it can be terrible.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
I've had to experience. And how sensitive I'm.
Yes.
I'm like, stop.
Poor Jordan. And let me tell you something. I would secretly call us the party of three all the time because it has been the three of us through everything.
A long time,
through everything.
Like,
I mean, we've been through some stuff. Y'all gonna hear some episodes. Let me just put it out here. I've been married and divorced twice. Mm-hmm. So that was a whole thing.
We got a Ross Geller over here.
Am I Ross Geller? How many times was he married? He was married and divorced twice.
I think you would know. Like,
not that bad.
No. I'm just joking. But
was it 4?
It was at least 3.
It was at least 3.
Carol, it was the girl he left at the altar.
Who was
for
that?
Rachel, and it was Rachel because you remember they got married in Vegas.
Oh yeah, Emily, right?
Emily. Yeah.
That's number 3 or 4. That's number 3.
Number 3.
So it's 3.
We love Friends. That's one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, she's gotten married.
So, so I feel like me, AJ, and Jordan, we have been through a lot.
We moved a lot of places.
Yes, we lived a lot of places.
Started, in some apartments where me and Andrew had to share rooms and stuff like that. But then we got this house, and we pretty much from here. Like I was in middle school. My brother was.
Oh yeah.
Andrew
when we
was
moved
in
here.
Middle school too.
When we moved in this house.
When we moved in this house.
I thought you meant like when we moved to Delaware.
No, when we moved to Delaware.
Yeah, you were in like elementary school.
But when we moved here, like we're still here. So this was like our, I don't want to say, like me and Andrew basically grew the rest of our lives.
Yeah, most of our lives
here. Yeah, in Delaware in general.
Yeah.
So we have been through a lot together. And
and we always bounce back.
And one of the like
trooping. One day we'll have AJ on the show because I think he probably remembers a few more things and instances than you do.
Oh yeah, he has the better.
He has
memory.
the memory of an elephant.
He doesn't forget a thing.
Yeah, he can tell y'all some stories.
Yeah, we should have him on the show.
Yeah,
his birthday's tomorrow. Yeah. How do you feel about your firstborn turning 22?
So let me tell you something, and I posed this in our group chat to my best friends. Shout out to Fat 5. Fat 5 for life. Yes. So I was asking them. I'm like, do you guys get super emotional when your kids' birthdays are approaching? Because I do.
Really?
Ever since you guys were born.
That's a lot of birthdays.
But it's like my uterus has a calendar. Like, how does my body even know to get emotional like that? Like, how do we know?
I mean, I guess I don't get. So what did your friends say?
So they agreed that they do, but I don't know. It like probably Monday I started randomly crying.
Really?
Yes. But just nostalgic type things. Like not sad. It's just like when I sit and think, I'm like, wow.
It's been
like
life
he's
is
about
going.
to turn 22. Like
every year, it gets faster.
Like even for your past birthday, like I don't know why I do this, but I don't really like to like cry in front of y'all. And Jordan's always like, "Are you crying?"
Yeah,
like she wants to catch me. It's like, wait, is that a tear? Let me catch it and put it in this bottle.
It's like when you see a fairy, you want to capture it. Like, it's a rare occurrence.
Right. So yeah, we went to New York to hang out with her because that's where she is in school or whatever. And yeah, it was exciting. The whole week I was excited. I'm like, don't see my daughter. We're going to. But then when it was time to leave, like,
really?
Yes, I got so emotional. Like you probably could tell. I like hugged you for a long time. But
did you cry in the car?
No, I didn't because I had people in the car with me.
Know.
I don't like to cry in front of people.
What is wrong?
I don't know.
We need to unclench this shell.
But I have been. I have been in therapy. And I am learning.
When have you been going to therapy?
Well, I mean, not recently, but I have been in therapy.
That
and I
am. Time you went to therapy.
It was not
like,
once.
I've been to therapy, so I know
twice. No, I know that that's an issue with me, so I am starting to embrace it more.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I feel like I need to do it in front of people.
Yeah.
But I do try to take my moments more and just cry it out. Ooh, I had a good cry when it was time to drop you off at school.
Oh.
In the shower.
Wait, really?
We were still at the house. In the shower. I told Nikki.
I was like in the room?
Yes. It was right. We were still here.
Oh,
wow. It was that morning.
Really?
And
that's why you didn't
I
cry
was
when
about
I
to
left
lose it. And
oh my God.
Yeah, and I quickly got in the bathroom, got in the shower, and just let it go. Because I didn't want you to. So here, I'm about to cry now. So so here's the thing. It was when I know you were excited but nervous about going to school. Mm-hmm. And that's completely normal.
Yeah.
But I also felt like you were worried about leaving me.
I was.
I know. And I didn't want to talk about it with you because I knew you were, but I was like, I have to show her I'm going to be okay. Actually, on the inside, I was like, I'm not okay. I don't want to go. I'm not okay. Please don't go. Don't leave me. But I'm like, but Rachel, you got to let her go. Yeah. Like, so I was struggling with that, but I was like, I can't let her see that because then she's really going to be like, it's going to be even harder for her knowing how sensitive she is. So so that was tough. But it was funny because Nikki knew. Nikki was like, she was like, did you cry? And I was like, yeah. And she was like,
be G about it. Yeah, I cried.
Maybe that's what it is. You're trying to be gangster about everything.
Like, I cried, yes.
But she was like, oh, I knew you would. Like, but everybody knows like how close we are though. Yeah. I mean, she was like my little shadow for like so
very
many years.
Much so.
Yeah.
One of my best friends.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk about everything.
We do.
But that's what both of my children, even my son, like, well, he used to. He still does. But he tells me everything. Sometimes some things when y'all was growing up, some things y'all would tell me that I would be surprised. Like, woof.
She said, why'd you say that?
Like, do you sure you want to talk to me about this?
No, but leaving for school, I think, was kind of crazy for me, too. Because, I don't know, like, you're so ready to go and start your life and stuff.
But it's scary.
But you get there. And then you miss your family like crazy. Like,
how much did you miss? Like, were you homesick at first? Because you never really talked about it.
Okay, I don't think I was ever homesick. I was just family sick. I just missed being able to see my family.
Right.
I don't really feel that much attached to this state. I don't
think. Right.
And like actually being home because I loved having my own space. I did. I think me moving out was like me finally like doing something for myself and like making like feeling like I can do this and I can prove that I can do this and all of this stuff. But
because she was adamant about getting out of Delaware, it was like I have to go to a school outside of Delaware.
No,
yeah,
because I know I'm gonna get real comfortable.
Right. No,
I don't want to be comfortable.
Right.
I don't. I want to experience it. I want to challenge myself.
Right.
And I did challenge myself. New York is a big city, and I was literally on my own. I had my cousin there, Tony. Shout out to you, Tony, if you're watching. And he was there, but you know he has his own life. He has work. Like I was going to school. I had to learn how to take the subway and stuff like that. And there were moments where I felt so alone. I would like cry and I would I would go in the bathroom and just cry and I would be like, I have no friends, like this is a lot. There was moments where I didn't want to talk to anybody, but I felt like, and yes, I was very worried about you. I was like talking to cousin Nikki. I was like, you know, is she gonna be okay? Like, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, can you make sure like you talk to her a lot and visit her? Yes.
So wait, Nikki just the middleman, like
she's the mediator.
Like she probably be like, here we go again.
I know, but yeah, I had to make sure that somebody was like, you spent your entire life looking after us. I was like, what
not to mention, I think if I was still in a relationship, you probably would have felt better.
Yeah.
About leaving.
But it was like, it was just her with the dogs and like Caleb and And Caleb, you know, goes to work, goes to school. He has his plan set, like, for what he's doing and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was just, like, my emotional well-being that you were more concerned about. Because I'm a G. I mean, ain't nobody messing with me. But yeah, it was emotional well-being. Because, I've had a lot of, like, trauma in the last 2 years. Like, emotional trauma. So, so, I mean, like, that breakup was really tough. Like, I did not see that one coming.
Not even that, but my grandmother passed away.
Yeah, and that was, like, 2 or 3 months after my breakup. So, it was too much insane. All at once.
I'm surprised she's still standing, honestly.
Whew.
Because wow, that was...
Yeah.
That was all hard. That was around the time I also broke up with my high school boyfriend. Yeah. It was around that.
It was based on that.
It was
after that, but it was based on that.
A lot of it was I was losing myself. And my emotions. And my relationship. I was very much not nice. I was like mean and angry. And I had so much built up. And it was
I wonder if he felt like you were mean and angry towards him. Because I know you came to me and you felt bad. I
felt like I was.
You were like, I just feel like I am not being a good girlfriend to him.
I really didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
And he might have thought differently.
Right.
But I'm thinking he might have thought differently because he wanted to still be with me.
Right.
And that's not fair.
He didn't want to end it.
That's not fair.
Right.
And I agree. I don't think that was fair. So I was trying to be the bigger person and do what was best. And you can't necessarily say what's better for someone else.
Right.
But it
didn't feel good to you.
It didn't feel good.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I was being the best I could for someone else. Mm-hmm. And you have to be okay. Right.
You gotta show up for a relationship.
You do. So,
and if you feel like you're not doing that well, then yeah, that's crazy.
So this has been a jam-packed
episode. Goodness. This is how our conversations go, though.
They do just
You guys are just getting like a bird's eye view of what always happens between.
Well, this is it. So we're gonna end this episode here because it's kind of lengthy, and we wanna hear from you guys. We wanna see if you guys like this.
Exactly.
From where I'm sitting,
Yes. Do you want to see more? Do you want to hear more?
What do you guys want to hear?
Yes. What do you guys want to hear?
What are you? What generation are you? Are you Gen X?
Oh, I have no idea. I never really understood that. I never really understood that. Yeah, like did you enjoy us, or did you really just come for the puppy?
Yeah. Did you come for Sully, or did you come for us?
Did you not hear anything we said?
If you're watching this video-wise, if you're just listening to the audio, we do have our furry baby sitting in between us.
My little
if you're watching
emotional support baby.
Yeah, she got that literally when I left for college. She got Sully.
I replaced her with a puppy.
She literally said, I'm going to need something. I'm going to need someone. I got Sully. But yeah, so we hope that you enjoyed this episode.
Yes, it's so much more to come, guys.
Yes, we want to do this for a while. And just, honestly, whoever's listening, thank you so much.
Yes.
Make sure you like and
I think for our next episode, we'll dive into our blended family. So stay tuned.
That'll be a good one.
Yes, you want to see that one, definitely.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. I don't even know how to end this. How do we say goodbye?
I don't know. Should we just wave?
I'm Jordan.
I'm Rachel.
And we love you.
Yes.
And we will see you next time.
Yes.
Peace. Be safe. Wear a mask.